Well, as you know, I'm the only candidate running for governor that went to Gina to witness for myself what was going on in Gina on the day of the marchers. I'd like to be a first-line governor, one that's going to go where the problems are, whether in the Superdome, on a hurricane, the convention center, or in Gina, Louisiana. I went there to witness both sides, hear the arguments, and have my own opinion on what goes on in Gina. Specifically in my plan, I talk about the governor establishing a commission on multicultural issues to deal with the racial divisions that we have in our state. I would argue that uniting the state as an independent, getting both sides to work together is the only way we're going to get there, and that's a priority of my administration.
What would be the idea of this commission, to present proposals to the legislature, or how do you carry those forth?
There would be the governor's commission in order. The most important thing in a racial issue is that all parties are properly represented, so that you don't have one side or the other having their upper hand in the argument. So I would have a multicultural group of whites, African Americans, Asians, and Hispanics vetting the issues, meeting with the group, and advising the governor and coming out with more issues. You'd be surprised how we can change government and make it more accessible.
If I can answer, I'm against vouchers. No, I'm not for them. I'm not for tax credits. What I am for, and what you'll do when you start vouchers, you'll have poor children in poor neighborhoods. They will go to the better schools, and what do you do with the children that are left? All you're going to do is pick these children and take them to the particular schools they want them to go to. I'm worried about all the children in the state of Louisiana, and I have a plan. I'll open up the schools in the summertime. We're silly to close these schools up in May and open them back up at Labor Day. They're air conditioned now. Give these kids the tutorial help they need. Bring them back. 1 through 4th grade, bring them back. I'm also for opening up PM schools. There's lots of people in Louisiana would love to get a high school diploma or a GED. Open up these schools at night and let these people come back. That's what we need to do. And if there's any taxes taken off, I'm taking off your income tax, will help a lot. So don't worry about your tuition at a private school, because I'm going to give you income tax and you can pay for it just like that.
Senator Boasso, you switched from the Republican to the Democratic Party when you announced for governor last spring. And yet, on the issues that divide these two parties, you have a track record that's consistently Republican. You were a spokesman against raising the minimum wage in the Senate, and you voted 100% along with big business. And so tell us, why should anyone believe that Walter Boasso is really a Democrat?
Well, good. Thank you. First of all, Robert, if you remember the bill on minimum wage, I do support the federal minimum wage. That bill in the legislature, what I voted against, would have put us uncompetitive with our neighboring states. And I will and continue to support the federal minimum wage. When it comes to the difference between Republican and Democrats in big business, there is nobody in the legislature that has a 100% voting record with big business. And Robert, if you look at the votes that were there for big business, they did not affect the people who I'm actually trying to protect and help. Now, going from Republican to Democrat, my party left me in the water for 8 days during Katrina. My party lied to me. And President Bush stood there in Jackson Square and he said he would do whatever it takes to bring Louisiana back. I have 122,000 reasons to be a Democrat today, because with one stroke of an ink pen, Robert, the President of the United States can put an end to this.
Carl, you're exactly right. We still have, and don't let anybody tell you we're a poor state. We're not a poor state. We're a blessed state with 30% of the nation's oil and gas, 30% of the fisheries, 5 of the nation's largest ports, 6 major rail lines, yet we still lose 30,000 of our people every year. 3rd slowest growth rate since 1980 in the country. You know, I've got a detailed economic development plan that talks about getting rid of the new job taxes that are driving some of those jobs out of North Louisiana. I talked to a large employer, Northeast Louisiana. The taxes on debt, new equipment, utilities add millions of dollars to the cost of doing business every year. He thinks about moving to Arkansas. We've got to offer a day-one guarantee. A lot of employers want to expand here, want to come here, want to stay here, but if they can't find the skilled workers, they won't do that. Talked to an employer that moved hundreds of jobs that were already here out of the state because he couldn't find mechanics We will guarantee that our people are skilled and ready to work on the first day. We'll retrain them for free. And then finally, we've got to take advantage of our universities, the research going on. You know, University of Alabama, Birmingham does more research than all of our public universities put together. We need to double that R&D tax credit to turn those great ideas into great jobs. We're beginning to produce alternative energy in Northeast Louisiana.
Thank you, Mr. Jim.
Sorry, those are the kinds of things.
Yes or no answers, or
Yes.
we can.
No,
okay.
well,
I just wanted to make sure I didn't
yeah.
miss anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Again, I'll give you a short answer.
Short.
There's got to be limits on the
Well,
increases.
Oh, okay.
There've got to be limits on the